Create Art Podcast. Project National Poetry Writing Month 2022. Hello, friends. This is Timothy Chemo Bryan, your head instigator for Create Art Podcast, where I use my 20 plus years of experience in the arts and education to help you tame your inner critic and create more than you consume. This month is National Poetry Writing Month, and this is the third year in a row that I am going to be doing NaPoWriMo, as it's known. Now, what's this all about? Well, it's actually something that started up a long time ago, about 2003. And it was done by Maureen Thorson. She's a poet that was living in Washington, D.C., and it was inspired by National Novel Writing Month. And what she did is she posted her poems on her blog, and other people started, writing poems in April and hosting them on their own blog. Now, Maureen linked to them, and after a few years, there's so many people doing NaPoWriMo that Maureen decided to launch an independent website for the project. Now, as far as me, I've started writing poetry back in 1988 when I was exposed to T.S. Eliot in my honors English class in high school. Started reading poetry to the public in 1992 while I was in Abilene, Texas at Espresso Europa coffee shop. I put out my own books of poetry, starting way back in 2007 with Throwing Myself at the Ground and Missing. And then 2008, Postcards from Somebody You Don't Know. And then 2010, Wisdom from the Sack, where I did the National Poetry Writing Month. I did 60 poems in 30 days and put out a book for that. And then the latest one, 2017, Shaving Crop Circles in My Chest Hair. Again, that was a response to doing a Word of the Day challenge. Now, like I said, in 2009, I started participating in it, and I've been a huge proponent for it. This is my third year doing it on the show, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, we have made it to April the 5th, and running a little late today, but that's okay. So the prompt is to write a poem about a mythical person or creature doing something unusual, or at least something that seems unusual in relation to the person or creature. An example would be, how does Hercules do what he does when he loses a sock in the dryer? Or if a mermaid wants to pick up rock climbing as a hobby, how does she do that? What happens when a mountain troll makes pancakes? So that's kind of interesting. So my response to that is this one. It's called The Tame Sagittarius. He sat in a stable and suffered through another gout attack. It had been forever since he had done archery practice. The catgut string on his bow was frayed and unusable. His belly had grown enormous. The oats he ate were replaced with Mountain Dew and anything from Uber Eats. And nights that usually were the best time for hunting was now spent on video games. He'd given up. He bought into the dream of leisure. The never-ending quest for the next thing ended abruptly, as those who honored his spirit, emulated his independence, decided that questioning was only for the flickering screens. He had no reason to lead his followers or fulfill the visage they had of him. The immortality that many of us devote our lives, wealth, and emotion on turned into an unspeakably horrible prison. And he just sat there and wallowed in his misery. Decades had passed while he was in this state. until there was no one left that followed the path he led for eons before. And when the last follower had passed away, the Sagittarius blinked out of existence, with no fanfare, no burning barge, until one day a mortal discovered the writings of his former followers. He heard the call to bring him back into our realm. His legs gained strength. His heart began to beat again. His vagabond mind started to drive him towards his newest disciple. And once again he took his spot in the pantheon of the gods. He regained his drive to search the cosmos and imparted immortality to his mortal connection as they explore the universe together. I want to thank you for tuning into this special episode of Create Art Podcast, National Poetry Writing Month for 2022. I look forward to seeing the comments that you can put on the website and let me know what you think of the poetry. And I want to know if you're writing poetry. Drop me a few lines. Let me take a look at it. I'd be happy to help you self-publish your book or give you advice or good context that I personally have to get your poetry out there. Reach out to me, Timothy, at createartpodcast.com, and let me help you tame your inner critic and create more than you consume. Let me know if you'd like to be on the show or talk about any of the topics that we do present for you here. Until next time, go out there and create art for somebody you love, yourself.